briefing on Eventbrite. So Eventbrite is a platform that you can use to host events. As you see, one of our business partners, Ms. Chastity Jackson, right there. Here you see my event, the Travel Agent Emporium. You see different people in your surrounding area that also have events and things that people can go to and buy tickets for. So I creatively use my Eventbrite page to do several things. Anytime I have someone that is going to be a new client of mine, I always use Eventbrite to collect my retainer fee. Um, I also use Eventbrite to sell and capture payments on select trips because sometimes we cannot use Eventbrite to accept payments, but on things like, say, a bus trip, right? You can use it to collect payments and things of that nature. I also use it to gather interest for people who want to learn more about the vacation opportunity as well as the vacation club. I call them different campaigns. Whatever campaign I'm running, I try to have an Eventbrite page set up for that particular campaign and that objective. All right. So I want to show you how to create an event. You'll come here to the top right and you'll click on a create event. Now, by this time, hopefully you've already gone to eventbrite.com and you've signed up for a free account. So the very first thing that you want to do now is you want to name your event. So let's just say this is going to be, okay, I just made that up, right? Information. So let's just say this is going to be information on opening franchise. Whatever. Okay, so creatively, we're going to change just a couple things to make this fit. Now, if you had a specific day and event that you're going to be doing, you would type in the address here. But let's just say we're going to offer online information as well as live in person or whatever the case may be. So you would come here and you could type in online tours and private appointments available, or you could do online tours and Atlanta event on November 19th, whatever you want to do right here. All right. Now, when I'm doing a campaign, for instance, my interested agents campaign is not a specific date. It's a campaign that I'm running for the next 90 days or so, or probably even longer. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my start date as today because they can actually get an online tour with me today. All right. And that tour, just so y'all that are watching on today, will begin at 8:30. And then the end date is already defaulted, but I'm going to extend this out for as long as Eventbrite will let me extend it out for. Let's just assume that's February 24th. All right. And put in the time. Now you can come back in and add in the cosmetic features. So if you have an Eventbrite, if you have a cover photo that you want to use, that's fine. For the event description, I encourage you to just keep it as concise as possible. I've changed my Eventbrite descriptions for my interested agents several times, but that's because I'm trying to find the perfect fit. You are more than welcome to go to interestedagents.eventbrite.com and copy what I have, manipulate it, make it your own, and please share it with me so that way maybe I can upgrade my lifestyle. All right. The organizer name and organizer description is something that you can do later on by simply coming up to your settings, going down to account settings and setting up that information. For different events, you might want to be one type of organizer. And for other events, you might be a different type of organizer. An example of that might be you might want to be a travel agent for certain events. And then for other events, you want to talk about yourself as a franchise educator so that people, that are looking for that kind of education, they can see your description. Anyway, this privacy listing right here. Oh, I skipped a section. Now you're going to create your ticket. So for my campaign, we're selling free tickets. I like to keep it personal. I always want them to arrive and know my name. So it's always Misha. Reserve my voucher if that was a campaign that I was doing. I plan on coming, or I'll be there live on the 19th, or whatever the case may be. Misha, I'll be your guest. Whatever it is, put that in there. All right. How many tickets do you want to sell? 500. Boom. And speak it into existence, y'all. And of course, it's free. Now here you could put something in the ticket description. I like to keep it light here, but this might be something like arrive 30 minutes early, or registration starts 30 minutes early. Okay. Or a couple things, like as far as directions, if you're in a nook and cranny, second house on the left, behind the fence or something, I don't know. So you have that. Now, ticket sales, make sure that your dates are correct on this. We want to start selling these tickets for today, but it automatically defaulted to stop on December 24th. And if you remember, my event doesn't end until October 24th. So we want to make sure our ticket sales do not end before the event ends. All right. And this here is pretty self-explanatory. The minimum they can purchase is one, and I just leave this blank because they can purchase however many they want. And I do have some people who will purchase more than one ticket. All right, so for the second ticket type that I like to do is always going to be, Misha, I can't make it, but let's meet up. Or Misha, I can't make it, so let's schedule a tour, or whatever. Give them the option to let you know that they need a different time to meet up with you. All right, again, put the information in here and you're done. Now let's move on to a paid ticket. This is how I get my retainers. All right. Anytime someone contacts me to book a trip for them, I will give them a briefing of my services, such and so forth, and then I create an Eventbrite link for them. I then come in here and I create the tickets and the pricing of my retainer for them to fulfill. And then I wait on that. I do not start working on their trip and all that kind of stuff until my retainers are paid. All right. But that's a whole nother class. So for right now, let's do a paid ticket. So same thing. Misha, can we do this online? I'm just going to choose this. All right. And let's just say we're going to sell 100 tickets of this. Now, okay, that makes no sense. So they're actually, whatever. Okay. So anyway, I'm not going to worry about that. So now we're going to sell these tickets at $25. All right. This is my retainer. So right here, I'll click on this again. And for the event description, I always put non-refundable. And then I give them instructions. I will call you in 24 hours to set up your such and such, or whatever the case may be. I put that right there. Let's move on. When it comes down to fees, you have the opportunity to absorb them or to pass them on to the person that's buying the ticket from you. That's your choice. All right. Again, make sure that your ticket sales do not end before your event is ended. And voila. All right. A donation can be used for times where someone needs to make a custom payment and you don't have a ticket for that. So they can go to the event. Let's just say this was your casino trip and somebody wants to pay in full. All right. So they're going to make their payment of $75 or whatever and 2 cents. And so they can make the donation as a payment for that. All right. Which country you want to be paid in is pretty self-explanatory. Just know that you cannot change that after you start selling your very first ticket. Now, when it comes to listing this, if you want Eventbrite to list it publicly, so like you saw how we were able to see Chastity's event, it'll show up there. And then also you have the opportunity to type, what kind of event this is. And this really just helps people to find who you are. So I'm just selecting a couple things, but let me just give you my disclaimer. Listen, don't try and follow everything that I'm doing right here simply because everybody may not be searching for a business meeting, a professional event, or a business startup. Maybe they're looking for travel or whatever the case may be. So if you put different things there, it actually allows you to sometimes find the least expecting person. So just something to think about. But let's go ahead and make your event live. Now this is going to take a while and we'll have a pop-up to come up. But I just want to show you how when I'm marketing or advertising for a specific campaign, how having an Eventbrite page helps me. So my computer is not moving. So let me just move on here. Here is some events that I've done with Eventbrite all the way dating back to January of 2015. If you look here at the event name, this were the different names that I had, and some of these might be familiar. Some of y'all remember when we used to go down to Austell at the Epicenter, all right? And then, so for whatever event that's going on, I don't care if it's somebody else's event. For instance, we already know that Tawana Houston and Alyssa Davis and Robin Botts, they're going down to Tennessee the 3rd of December. Baby, it be in your best interest to go ahead and start running you a Facebook campaign. That's another class. But get your Eventbrite set up and start marketing to that area. Start looking in Facebook and seeing how many friends you have in Tennessee and if you can get them to that event. All right. So it doesn't just have to be your event. The Disney training that was done at the Success Lab, that was another great one. This one, I actually acquired all of these ticket sales by doing a Facebook offer. right? So I just offered them the 3-day, 2-night vacation. The only thing they had to do was complete their tour. So case in point here, there are so many different campaigns that you can use and have going on at one time, customers and interested people alike. So whenever I'm marketing on Facebook, if I have something where I know that that post is in my opinion to generate someone's interest, I'm going to put my Eventbrite link, interestedagents.eventbrite.com. All right. And that's where they're going to meet my funnel. All right. So remember I told you you'd have this pop up? Great. There's a pop up. X out of there because we're not ready to publish on Facebook just yet. All right. We have a couple of things that I want to show you. So here is your Eventbrite URL. Who's going to remember that? Nobody. So I want you to click over here where it says edit. So that way we can edit this link. Now, my computer is frozen again, but when you click on it, you could create your own link for your own campaign. So let's just say your campaign that you'll be using for marketing purposes is, I want more information.eventbrite.com. Click save and see if it's available. Now listen, I want you guys to always remember that website addresses and email addresses are not case sensitive. So even though I typed it in caps on purpose, see how it's lowercase? All right. So whenever you're typing your link so that people can read it, use caps so that it's easy for them to pick out what it says. All right, but just know that it doesn't make a difference if it's caps or not. It's still going to get them to the right place. So let's move on. Now we've customized our link. Now we want to go to our order form because Eventbrite does not automatically capture your their phone number. So you're going to go to order form right here on the left hand side. Once you click on that, we're actually going to require that the cell phone number is like required for them to check out with your Eventbrite. So we're going to come down here and we're going to click on each attendee. So each attendee that purchases one of the tickets that we set up is going to be prompted to fill in this information. I don't like to get on people's nerves. I'm real short when it comes to doing stuff like this. I keep the way I think in my head at all times. So I don't try to require their address and all that kind of stuff. But here we're going to click to include the cell phone on the form, and we're going to require the cell phone on the form because whenever they're using their credit card information, you want to make sure that this is populated. But if it was just going to be a ticket where it was internet only, you don't need to get their billing card, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, the other thing that you want to do here is you can create questions. Now, don't ask them 21 questions, but definitely think of some questions that you might want to ask them. So in some of my previous campaigns, I would ask them questions. I would have drop-down menus that they could choose whatever they felt was best. And some of the responses were they were interested in bringing in 22 ways to earn income, 6 streams of residual income, and 5 paydays per month. That was the actual answer that I had them choose. Like it was either do you want this, or this. Somebody else's answer was they were interested in traveling more for less and writing it off on their taxes. So when I contact them, I already know what position, they're standing on. So I'm not talking to someone about travel who wants to earn money owning their own franchise and vice versa. All right. Sometimes I also ask where did they hear about me, so that way I can figure out which one of my marketing efforts is working the best for me. Another question, if time and money were no issue, where would you go? A great question to ask, if nothing else, is when is the best time to call you? All right, so that's there. So you'll type in the question here, voila, and then you can let them do paragraph form. They can do check boxes. They can do drop down menus, and of course, like if they're doing the drop down menus and all, then you can create those options for them. So that's how they were able to choose those options. You can add another option here. All right, and then you choose the optional settings that you want, and you can hit save. So that's that. Another thing that I like about Eventbrite is the fact that you can actually send emails to your past and current guests. All right, so I've had over, I think it's at 150 different events with Eventbrite, and you see all the tickets that were sold, right? So one thing that happens is even though people go through the trouble of ordering these tickets, and sometimes the night before, they still sometimes do not show up to the event. So one of the things that you want to do is make sure that you're emailing them. So you can set up to have well, they're going to get their initial email once they have their ticket. Now, hopefully you're working with accountability partner or someone in the group, so that way they can assist you with appointment setting. So that person's main job may be, hey, I'm just calling on behalf of Miss Sandra. She asked me, or she let me know that you were interested in coming out to see her on the 22nd, or that you're going to be attending the webinar tomorrow evening. I'll be calling you about 15 minutes prior just to make sure that you're able to get on and everything is set. All right, whatever. Set the appointment, help that person out, work with each other. In cases where you don't have someone to work with, do not let that limit you, because I have an alter ego vacation personality. Her name is Asha Bavaro, and she does make calls for Miss Rogers when nobody else is available. I also have a Google number that allows me to call out from a different number, as well as an app on my phone called Sidekick that allows me to call out from a different number as well. So please do not find a reason to set yourself back, because I call as Asha Bavaro plenty of times. But anyway, let's go ahead and create an email. So we'll click on this button here, and you can you'll be able to see that this information will populate based on the event description. Okay, so you can't see it now because I didn't really type anything, but that's what'll be there. You can change this to be more friendly. Hey, it's Misha. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever you want to put there. Keep your subject line short and simple about that Eventbrite, whatever. All right. Then, if you want to send a test email, you can send a test email to make sure that everything is correct. When it comes to year two, this is something that they just changed around, so I'll show you. So I could send this to all attendees registered after a certain date, or even to specific attendees. All right. So just find whichever one is going to work best for you. Let me come back out of here. Attendees by ticket type, whatever. All right. So anyway, you can do that. You can program them to even go out at a later date. I'm gonna encourage each and every one of you. If you're running a campaign and you already know what your event date is going to be, go ahead and schedule those events, those emails to go out, the 24-hour one, the one that's midweek or whatever, just reminding them, give them an incentive in one of the emails. I don't know, stay on top of their mind, because they will forget. They will forget. All right, so anyway, you would hit the send now button. All right, so there's a lot more to Eventbrite, but this is just to help you get set up and get rolling. All right, so here's some things that you want to go back and do later on your own time. I want you to go back and read, right? So when it comes to account settings, right, you want to go ahead and figure out how you want to get your money off of Eventbrite. Do you want them to mail you a check? Do you want them to deposit into your account? Do you want to set up your own profile picture, which I need to update and change that? There's all kinds of things here that you need to go ahead and do. You can even send out invoices, get your tax information. There's just so much. So please go back and do that. The other thing is your organizer profile. So this is where you can go in and you can change your pictures, what type of organizer you're going to be. Maybe you're the travel agent for one event, like I said, and then about the travel. She's a guru, a travel extraordinaire, loves to travel, found this to be a great opportunity to make money and travel at the same damn time, and voila. Or maybe your organizer, the next one that you'll create might be that you're a franchise educator, educating people all over the world. So play with these settings and stuff here and get your Eventbrite set up. This is one tool of many. I might end up having to do this training all over again just to kind of summarize it a little bit better. But I am going to move it over to our website, and it'll be a part of a 5 series that I do to help you guys to get your funnel from your Eventbrite to your constant contact if you choose to have it, SMS messaging if you choose to do that. What else do I have on there? Facebook ads, and just a couple things that you can use tool-wise to help you guys start funneling and getting your business to grow. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, you know how to reach out and find me. And I look forward to some of your comments, your feedback, but definitely seeing your Eventbrite in my newsfeed. Y'all take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.